Marvel fans, what I'm about to tell you in this video is mind-blowing stuff. We just got some crazy reveals for the Fantastic Four movie and RDJ as Doctor Doom. And I know we've been talking about a lot of this stuff in different streams and in different videos, but this stuff is brand new. It is mind-blowing. It literally shocked me. I'm so excited to be making this video and talking to you about it. But it is also potentially massive freaking spoilers for the plan that Kevin Feige has for these movies and Secret Wars and all of that. So spoiler warning, but if you're like me and you can't help yourself, check this shit out. It is bananas. So first up, let's talk about the Fantastic Four. Now, something really interesting just occurred where Marvel Studios themselves put out an official synopsis for the Fantastic Four film. This is actually unusual. You don't normally get an official synopsis from a studio before you even have a trailer out there. So perhaps we'll be getting a trailer really soon. And according to the insiders out there, this movie has a couple of weeks left to shoot. It's been going very well. And so it's not going to get delayed. It's not going to have a ton of reshoots. Things are looking good for the Fantastic Four movie. And thus we get this official synopsis. Here's what it says here. Set against the vibrant backdrop of a 1960s-inspired retro-futuristic world, the Fantastic Four First Steps introduces Marvel's first family. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, as they face their most daunting challenge yet. Forced to balance their roles as heroes within the strength of their family bond, they must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus, played by Ralph Ineson, and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer, played by Julia Garner. And if Galactus's plan to devour the entire planet and everyone on it weren't bad enough, it suddenly gets very personal. Okay, so that's pretty crazy, but we kind of knew a lot of that stuff, except for the last line there when it gets very personal. And in response to that, you had people like the Geeky Cast coming out there and saying that it's personal for them because they're not actually from that universe, and everybody in that universe is going to find out about that. And actually, that rumor had been floating around out there. I think like Divinity Seeker or some of these other newer scoopers were talking about that, and they were suggesting that the Fantastic Four was actually from the 616 universe. And I'll also say take this with a grain of salt for now because no major scoopers out there are confirming this, but I talked to a few people behind the scene and I believe that this is actually real. And that is absolutely insane. I was originally a little confused with the Fantastic Four movie taking place in a separate universe from 616, mostly because I was like, man, that's so weird. They're just going to be from a different universe and be brought over to ours, because that is a standing rumor that at the end of the Fantastic Four movie, the Fantastic Four will use dimensional travel to travel in to 616 for Avengers Doomsday. But the fact that the Fantastic Four is not even natively from that universe, that is mind-blowing stuff. Now, hold that thought, because I also want to talk to you about some crazy shit I heard about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Okay, so you're going to have to walk with me on this one. But just a couple of days ago, Brad Winderbaum was on the Phase Hero podcast with Brandon Davis and his whole crew, and they were discussing the Iron Heart movie, and they were talking about how there were practical effects for the suit, which is kind of paying homage all the way back to Iron Man 1, because in Iron Man 1, the suit that Tony Stark used was actually practical. Of course, there were digital versions, and it can't like move the way the suit does. It obviously can't do a lot of the stuff that the suit does, but the suit is practical, just like it was in Iron Man 1. And I noticed Alex Perez quote tweet something about that and say, that's not the only thing that's going to go back all the way to Iron Man 1. And when I saw that, I was like, that's weird. I wonder what he could be talking about there. Because again, Alex Perez, really, really great sources. He knows a lot of stuff. I promise you, he knows a ton of stuff that he is not telling us right now. But then I was talking to some people behind the scenes about this whole Fantastic Four, different universe, what that could mean for RDJ's Doctor Doom, etc., etc. And the person told me they kind of believe my theory that the 616 Iron Man, Tony Stark, was actually a Victor Von Doom variant that was adopted by the Starks, but they had also heard that Doctor Doom was actually present during Iron Man 1 in 616, and we will actually see that explored in Avengers Doomsday. And this is so cool, guys. This is bringing the full picture in for me. It has a lot to do with all the speculation, the big video we just did about Doctor Doom and about RDJ Iron Man, the comments that the Russo brothers made at Comic-Con, the fact that they were trying to do Victor Von Doom right and that it had to be Robert Downey Jr. So check this out. Let me try to explain it to you real quick. So, how could the Fantastic Four exist in that universe, but not actually natively be from it? There's a number of different ways this could happen. You see, in the 90s, there was this thing going on where Marvel actually killed off a lot of its main characters, and they were seemingly gone. But as a way to bring them back to the main Marvel universe, they retconned the fact that they had all died, and instead, Franklin Richards had created an entirely new universe and taken those heroes at the moment of their death and put them in a different universe. And this could have still happened to the Fantastic Four. There's something really interesting that Charles Murphy talked about yesterday that got me thinking that this could be what is happening. Yesterday, Charles Murphy dropped a big theory on his website, murphysmultiverse.com, and in that theory, he talks a lot about Earth X. Now, Earth X, an incredible Marvel story, which you should all read the whole way through. Beautiful Alex Ross art, a lot of crazy concepts. It's really a lot like the Marvel version of Kingdom Come in some ways. And for the record, Marvel has already adapted a lot of stuff from Earth X, like the whole idea of the Celestials planting seeds of new Celestials onto Earth, and then the fact that that could birth and destroy Earth. That was in the Eternals movie. That is literally what happens in Earth X. But do you know what else happens in Earth X? Franklin Richards becomes Galactus after Galactus is killed. It is explained that Galactus is a cosmic force. He has to be there to keep the Celestials' plan in check. He has to go around and stop these Celestials from being born, sometimes by absorbing and destroying planets. In the case of Earth X, there's sort of this thematic theme about how there's all these cosmic forces and there's predetermined cosmic destiny, but humankind has choices. Humankind has free will. And so Franklin becomes Galactus due to his personal choices and free will. He fights against the Celestials, prevents the actual birth of the Celestial that would destroy all of Earth, and he becomes Galactus. Now, one of the things that Charles was kind of playing with yesterday was this idea that Galactus in the Fantastic Four, the reason he comes to Earth to see Franklin Richards is because this Galactus was Franklin Richards. In a different universe, he was literally Franklin Richards, and then he becomes Galactus. And so what you might see here is a combining of the lore of Galactus in the normal 616 continuity from Marvel Comics, because even Galactus actually comes from a different version of the cosmos. His name was Galen. He was a scientist. He had celestial technology, and then he becomes Galactus in the next version of the cosmos. And the Earth X thing where Franklin Richards becomes Galactus. Now look, I know we're getting super freaking nerdy here, but just walk with me on this. What if Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie was a Franklin Richards from a different universe, and he created a whole new universe and brought his family over into it, but now he is Galactus in this other universe, and he's coming to Earth to see another version of himself and to make sure that his family is okay. But let's now go back to Doctor Doom and this crazy scoop out there that Doctor Doom was present in Iron Man 1. How could that be possible? Well, just like what's going on with Franklin, it is possible that the RDJ variant of Doctor Doom is from the native universe that Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards was from, and the Iron Man that we saw in Iron Man 1, that RDJ Tony Stark, was actually a new version of him, of Victor Von Doom. What that would allow Victor to do is dream walk into the body of RDJ's Tony Stark. Now look, I've been talking about this theory for a long time. I think it makes the most sense. They're going to do this thing where the Starks actually adopt a Victor Von Doom variant after they lose young Tony, or Tony is actually killed in childbirth or something like that. I've got multiple videos that are over 100,000 views talking about this exact theory. Like, you guys know where I'm at with this. But if that is real, it would imply that Victor being president in Iron Man 1 was him dream walking back into the 616 universe and observing what was happening to his variant as that variant became Iron Man. And here's the craziest part. Like, here's where it gets like extra bananas. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this might actually be what it is. I think the universe that Victor Von Doom is from, and I think the universe that the Fantastic Four is originally from, is the 616, but not the 616 as it is currently seen and known. I'm talking about a version of 616 that existed before the multiversal war, before He Who Remains ended that war and reshaped the timeline of the 616. And so if Robert Downey Jr.'s Victor Von Doom is actually from the original version of 616, and he is out scattered within the multiverse, perhaps Franklin saved him as well, and then he learns about this and learns that in the true timeline, he was Victor Von Doom with the Fantastic Four on 616, but Kang or the Beyonders or maybe Franklin Richards or some other reality warping force removed those characters from 616, threw them out into new universes, and then their variants were replacing them in the new timeline of 616. And the reason I love this theory so much is that it perfectly explains why Victor would be so hell-bent on reshaping the 616 timeline. Because according to rumors about Spider-Man 4, Doctor Doom is going to offer a second life, a new chance to Tom Holland's Spider-Man to regain all that he has lost. Remember, Tom Holland Spider-Man, nobody knows who Peter Parker is. He lost his girlfriend. He lost his friends. He lost everything. He still is Spider-Man, but he's not Peter Parker, and nobody knows who he is. So Doom is going to offer to Peter a chance at a new life where he can gain back everything that he lost. Oh, and also this reality that Tom Holland was Spider-Man in, it's false. And Victor wants what Spider-Man wants. He wants a true reality. He wants the chance to reshape 616, make it the way it was before. And that is likely why the Fantastic Four are actually from 616, just not the 616 that we grew up watching in the Infinity Saga. I know this is like really trippy. These are mind-blowing ideas, but I promise you, it's all starting to make sense. When you consider what the Russos said about having a story, and when you consider these new rumors that RDJ's Victor Von Doom was somehow present in Iron Man 1, and we will see that from Doom's perspective in Doomsday, it just all perfectly adds up. And don't you see, this is how the Fantastic Four movie can establish Victor Von Doom without actually having him in that universe. Because that universe and the Fantastic Four being in it is a lie. And I think Doom will figure that out before the Fantastic Four do. Or maybe the Fantastic Four are just choosing to live within this universe as like a second chance at their heroism. There's still a lot of questions. I'm not even sure how all of this fits together, but this is mind-blowing stuff. I'm way more excited for the Fantastic Four, and I'm super excited to go back and rewatch Iron Man 1 and try to figure out where was Victor at during that film. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, let me know in the comment section. Share it out with your friends if you want to blow their minds about what Marvel and Kevin Feige is cooking right now. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.